work for some of you, but then I'll also email it out because it's frustrating. So I apologize if anyone did have trouble getting in, and hopefully between those two things, we'll have it straightened out for next time. How are we all doing today?
Good.
Okay.
How are you?
Good, good. I see we got more snow. The kids had a delay again this morning because it was the roads were tricky. So, all right, but good thing we're on Zoom. We don't have to worry about going out. So we're gonna need a strap today. So we're gonna do a lot of work for shoulders and arms. We're also gonna need a blanket. And we're gonna take a blanket and roll it up. So you might be able to see it back there on my mat, but I just took one blanket and from the long side, I rolled it up. So it'll look like that. And then that'll be going under your spine in a moment.
And can I use my little bolster for that?
Of course. Yep.
Okay.
The pranayama bolster. Some of you have seen me show this before, but that's a cool thing to have in your yoga toolbox. It's nice to go under your spine. Pranayama is for breathing, so it's designed to help you breathe. But that's what we're kind of using it for initially here. You also might want to have a pillow for your head, because sometimes when you're on that roll, you kind of feel like you're going to teeter off. So a blanket roll of some kind. You can also use a folded in half bed pillow if you don't have a blanket. Pillow for your head and a strap, and we'll probably use our blocks as well. All right, so I'm going to meet you guys over on the mat. I'm going to mute and we'll get started. All right. So our topic for today is expansion, and it was one of the qualities, excuse me one second, one of the qualities that I mentioned last week of wintertime. So wintertime, everything is in that contracted state. And so even the tissues in our body start to feel tighter and more contracted, especially if we go out in the cold a lot. So I know some of you are out walking dogs, things like that. So when we go out and the body senses that cold, it starts to just tighten up and seize up in our fascia as a means of protecting us. So it's just a natural physiological thing that happens. But of course, doesn't always feel good to be in that contracted state. So our practice today is about creating expansion, creating space in the body where perhaps we're a little closed off. So have your strap like kind of at the top of your mat. You're going to have this blanket roll, and if you want that pillow for your head, put that at the top. And then we're just going to come down for a few moments of our breath practice. So along the spine is where that roll is going to go. And then blanket or pillow, whatever you've got, under just your head, not your shoulders. And then legs, you can have bound angle if you like. That's going to create space in the hips. You could put blocks under the knees. You could stay feet flat. And you could also do legs out. So any of those choices are fine. So I'll give you guys a minute to set that up. All right. So make sure that the roll or the bolster, whatever you've got, is kind of centered along your spine. And then just go ahead and let yourself drop in, release. And we'll take a couple of moments to focus on our breathing. All right. So starting to find the inhale and the exhale through your nose. And as you inhale, you might even be able to sense a subtle expansion in your body. And as you exhale, a subtle softening in your body. This is tuning in to the sensations that accompany an inhale and the sensations that accompany an exhale. Just starting to let your tissues soften over that bolster. So we're creating space in the chest, in the shoulders, in the collarbones here. Maybe even a little bit down through your rib cage. So allowing those muscles of the spine to soften over the roll. For any reason you can't get comfortable there, please feel free. You can always take it out if you need to. All right, so we're going to continue for about 1 minute. Just focusing on maybe letting the breath get a little longer and deeper. So we increase that feeling of expansion in the body. So in the language of Sanskrit, we have a couple of words that we're going to work with today. And those two words are sukha and dukkha. They rhyme, they kind of sound a little funny, but they refer to, in simple terms, good space and bad space. So sukha is a word that means sweetness, softness, ease in the body, ease in the mind. And then dukkha is suffering, is the kind of main interpretation of that word. So suffering, pain, darkness. And when we're in a contracted state, it creates more of this sense of dukkha, contraction, right? And so we want to create space so we have more of that sensation of sukha. And when we're in that place of sukha, that kind of more of a spacious feeling, more open feeling, this is what we want to kind of cultivate as we're working on our practice today. So the yoga philosophies tell us that by lessening the natural tendency for restlessness and by meditating on the infinite, a posture is mastered. So the more we come into that space of sukha, we have less pain in our pose and our body, less discomfort. We have that sense of ease. And then we might be able to kind of contemplate these more philosophical concepts. But if we're in a pose and we're suffering and it doesn't feel good, we're not going to get to that more kind of meditative feeling that we want to achieve in our yoga practice. All right, so last breath here. Allowing yourself to settle in. And then if your legs are in any other position other than straight out, go ahead and expand them out long. And then even widen them a little bit so that your legs are about max distance apart. And you're going to reach up and grab your strap. And we're going to take that strap in both hands and hold it right above our shoulders. That's it. So continuing to work with your back along the roll if it's okay for you. If for any reason you don't feel comfortable, you can take it out. Now you're going to pull on that strap a little bit. And as you pull on the strap, you might feel a little bit of your arm muscles engage. And now as you inhale, take the strap and move it overhead. And you're going to go toward the floor any amount. If you feel like your shoulders are kind of stopping you, you're going to end there, not go any farther. And then you'll bring it back up overhead and then maybe release it down if you want to take a little break. And let's try that again. Inhale up and overhead. And then keep going. Reach, reach, reach as far as you can and pull on the strap. And then as you exhale, you're going to lower that strap. You can go, overhead, or if you want, you can go all the way down. Totally your choice. And let's do that 2 more rounds. Pull on the strap first, and then inhale and take it overhead as far as you can. Maybe you'll go all the way to the floor. And then exhale, bring it back and down. Now, one more time, and we're going to hold it overhead. Inhale, reach up. And go as far as it's comfortable for you and then pause. And you're going to pull on the strap, hold it there, and try not to let your ribs pop up away from that blanket roll. So press your back ribs down into the blanket roll and pull on the strap. You're going to hold it here 1 more breath. You start to get an expansive feeling through the arms, shoulders, and chest. And then go ahead and slowly release. All right, just let your arms relax. You might want to roll your hands out. So we're going to do a lot of this gripping of the strap today. And, you know, if you have any kind of arthritis, things like that in your hands, you might notice that it feels crampy. So anytime, take a break from the strap work and just do the poses without the strap. Okay, we're going to come off of these props. So roll to your side and take the props out of the way. You can keep that blanket roll for your Shavasana later. And we're going to come right back down onto our backs. We're going to keep working with the strap. Okay. All right. So come back down. We're going to hold the strap overhead again. And try not to get too tight with that grip so you don't get the hand cramps. Now take it overhead as far as you can. And here's another little trick. If this is hard on your shoulders, bend your elbows. So we're gonna have more of a goalpost shape. Those of you who can, keep the arms straight. We're gonna come into a side bend on our back. So go ahead and start to walk your arms, your shoulders, your rib cage over to one side. So it's kind of like that banana pose that we do sometimes. And you come into a side bend and you're gonna keep holding the strap and then pull on the strap. And your head can roll in the direction that you're moving in, that direction that you're leaning toward. Try to keep both arms down. If you need to, bend the elbows. And then you're going to breathe right through that side of the body that you're opening up. Now the hips are both on the ground. We're not lifting the hips up. All right, let's try that on the other side. Walk it back through the center and then over to the other side. So I'm gonna just take a quick peek in at you guys, make sure that you've got this. Yeah, looks good. That's it. So shifting your whole upper body, rib cage, shoulders, arms over to the other side. The legs can stay where they are. And then once you're there, pull on the strap. You can even let your head turn in the direction that you're moving in. Nice big breath into that side body that you're opening. And now slowly release and come back to the center. And then you can release the strap and hug your knees into your chest. Good. You rock a little bit side to side. And then rolling over to one side, we'll come on up into a seated posture. Okay, so feel free to sit up on something if that's helpful for you. We're going to sit and have our strap in our lap. Okay, just put your hands on top of your shoulders. We're going to warm the shoulders up a little bit more before we continue with the strap work. So just rolling the arms and the elbows here. So we get a nice range of motion in our shoulders. So when we're cold and we're in that contracted state, we naturally huddle our shoulders forward, go the other direction. And then those tissues in the front of the chest get even tighter. And naturally, as a culture, we're tighter there anyway, because we spend so much time with our arms in that forward position. So then we get even tighter. That creates imbalance often in our neck, in our back. All right, go ahead and release that and then drop your chin to your chest and just gently roll your head side to side. So it can warm up the neck a little bit as well. If you like a full circle here, you can go ahead and take a full circle. For some of us, that feels like too much on the back of the neck. So I'll leave that up to you. You can go in a semicircle or all the way around. And then if you're going all the way around, after this next round, reverse, go the other way. And just kind of noticing, excuse me, what your range of motion in your neck and shoulders are this morning. And then we'll release and come back to the center, sitting up nice and tall. Okay, Now we'll grab that strap again. So I'm trying to build in little breaks so we're not holding that strap the whole time. Strap overhead and lift it as high as you can. You want to feel like your rib cage is lifting up and pull on that strap. We're going to take an inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to turn to the right. And as you turn to the right, keep pulling on the strap. And just kind of feel that sensation through your arms and shoulders. And then inhale through center and exhale the other way. And you can let that grip on the strap be loose, but just make sure you're pulling it. And then inhale, center one more time each side, twist. And this also goes all the way down through kind of the side of the back muscles, our lats. Back through center, one more time, over to the other side. Pull gently on the strap. And then inhale, center, and exhale, release. Good. Just turn your palms up for a moment. Let those arms and hands rest. Maybe wiggle out your fingers. You can circle your wrist, shake it out anytime, okay? All right, you can do that again. Take the arms up, changing it up a little bit. Gently pull on the strap. Feel the tone in your arms. And then as you exhale, we're going to pull it down behind the back of the head. And just go as low as it feels good for you. And now inhale, take it back up. And now if you want to add a little bit to this, you can add a little back bend. So as you pull down, start to look up toward the ceiling and lift through your heart space. And when you feel a contraction in your upper back, and then release. So when we contract the back, we're opening in the front, which is what we're looking for. Pull down. Contract your back, open through your chest, open through the front. Good, one more time. Inhale, take it up. And exhale, pull down. Little back bend. Good, inhale, take it up. And exhale, release. Good, and shake it out, roll it out, whatever you need to do there. And now we're going to come into tabletop pose, but we're going to put the strap down on the ground. So I'm going to have the strap underneath your hands as you do your cat-cow. So it's like a line right between your right hand and your left hand, and you're going to pin the strap down with the heel of your hand. Okay, so before we start cat-cow, press down through your palms and your finger pads. Try to get that little lift in the center of your palm. And then try to pull your strap apart with your two hands. And as you do that, you're going to feel maybe perhaps some engagement of the outer arm, the outer shoulder. You're kind of creating a little space in the back. Okay. So we're going to keep that feeling of pulling the strap apart. You don't have to be super, aggressive with it. Just a little bit of pulling apart. Take an inhale and then exhale into your cat pose. Now, as you do that, pull gently on the strap and you'll feel more spaciousness in your back. And then let's reverse. Inhale, look up, pull on the strap so we open through the chest. And then exhale, round. So let's do about 3 more rounds like that. If the hands and arms get tired, just go ahead and take a break from that pulling. Let's do a couple more. Also helps increase the strength of your arms and your wrists here. Okay, one more round. After this next exhale, go ahead and release back into a child's pose. Now, as you come into your child's pose, hold your strap in your hands if you can do arms forward. If that's too pinchy for you, then release your hands under your head. I know some of you can put a block under your head too. But those of you who can reach the arms forward, pull on your strap and let your head come to the ground. Now, if you can't get head to the ground, use a block under your head. Pull on the strap, inhale, lift your chest and head, look up, and exhale, come down. Now we're going to do a similar thing that we did on our back. We're going to walk it over into a twist, and we're going to take the strap with us. So walk over to your right side so that your torso is over your right thigh, and then have the strap in your hands and pull on the strap. And let your head come down as close to the ground as you can. It might not reach all the way, that's okay. If you can, the knees are nice and wide. Good. And now release, and let's go ahead and go to the other side. So walk yourself back through center over to the other side and see if you can hold onto that strap. Good. And pull gently on the strap. That's it. The arms don't have to be too wide. Hold it here, another breath. Let the head come down as close as it can. And then go ahead and release and come back through the center. Good, and then you can let that strap go, put it back toward the top of your mat. Okay. Okay, if you have blankets and things on your mat, you can go ahead, take those off. We're gonna come up to our standing work. All right, so back to tabletop pose. We're gonna walk the hands a little forward of the shoulders, tuck the toes, and lift up into our downward facing dog. Now keep those knees a little bent and just take a moment, bend one knee at a time, little pedaling out of the legs and the feet. And then we're gonna come up to stand. So either walking feet to hands or hands to feet, and we are gonna grab that strap and come all the way up to stand. So let's be mindful in that transition to standing. Okay. And we'll come into our mountain pose. For now, let's just let that strap be around the back of the neck. That's fine. Widen your feet just about generous hips distance apart. And inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Feel really expansive through the side of your body. Create space, reach, reach, reach. And then release, let the arms come down. Roll your shoulders out again. And go the other direction. Good, okay. And we're gonna grab that strap and take it overhead again. Pull on the strap a little bit. You wanna be about maybe outer shoulders distance with the strap. And if your shoulders feel a little tight here, just bend the elbows again, okay? Keep those feet outer hips distance so we have a nice stability through the legs, and make sure we're not jamming the knees, little micro bend. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, do that pull down behind the back of the head. Maybe you'll take a little bit of a back bend. Good, inhale, take it up. Exhale, bend your knees and come into chair pose. And make sure your hip creases move back. You've got weight in your heels and you're pulling gently on the strap. Good, inhale, straighten the legs, pull down, lift the chest. Good, and then next inhale, lift up. And exhale, bend the knees, chair pose. We're gonna do that one more time. Maybe go a little lower, keep pulling gently on the strap. Inhale up, exhale, pull down, little back bend. Inhale up, and exhale, come into your chair. Good, inhale up, and then let's release the strap for a little bit. Take a break again on the arms. Okay, just a couple of half sun salutations. So inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale to your halfway lift, hands up on your thighs. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, release, arms down. Good, 2 more cycles. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, arms down. One more time through. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. So this time, stay in your folds. You can widen your feet. Hold either opposite elbows or big toes. Take a little bit of extra time here in your forward fold. So make sure knees are slightly bent and the lengthening feeling through your spine. So let's take 2 more breaths here. All right, and then either after that second breath, either rolling up or hands to hips and press up. Use your legs, use your core. Try not to use your back muscles so much. Okay, so we're gonna grab the strap again. We'll take this work into some warrior poses now. So we're gonna stand in the middle of your mat and step your feet apart wide. So familiar poses, but adding on this different element of the strap. Turn your right leg out to the right and left foot in halfway. We're coming into our warrior 2 position. Bend that knee. And then we're gonna take the strap overhead. Now I have a super long strap, so I'm gonna fold it in half. Depends on that length of your strap. You might not want those tails flying around. You might hit yourself in the head. I don't want you to do that. Okay, so pull gently on the strap. Straps are a little wider than your shoulders, so nice and wide, nice and expansive. And root through your feet and lift that strap up as high as you can. A little pull on the strap. Good. Now inhale here, and as you exhale, go toward the back to reverse warrior. And you're gonna keep pulling and hold that strap. Good. Inhale, coming up. And as you exhale, toward the front. So now pelvis tips toward the left as you reach toward the right to keep that counterbalance. Good. Inhale, come up. This time, straighten your front leg without jamming your knee. Reverse triangle with that strap. Good. Inhale, come up. And exhale toward the front. So now coming in toward triangle, make sure you're not jamming your knee. Press through the big toe mound. Good. Inhale, come up, and then bend into the knee. Good. Inhale, straighten that leg, parallel your feet, release your arms down. Roll your shoulders back. Good. Okay, make sure your feet are parallel to each other or even slight pigeon-toed. We're gonna come to the ground. So we're gonna bend the knees a lot so that we can hinge at our hips and bring the strap to the ground. Now, if you have trouble getting to the ground, even with your knees bent, you can use your blocks and not do the strap work. That's okay too. We're gonna do like a wide leg down dog. So slide your hands and your strap forward. So you feel like you're in a down dog with your upper body. Pull on the strap a little bit. Bend your knees a lot and move your sit bones and your hip creases back. Like you're really kind of shining your booty back behind you. And then let your head come in between your arms. Maybe you'll straighten your legs. Hold here one more breath. And then we're going to slowly start to come up. So you're going to walk your hands back in carefully and then heel toe your feet in and come up, bend your knees, protect your back, come up to stand. Okay, so that was your break on your arms. Let's do the other side. Step out wide. Turn your left leg out, right leg in a little bit, bend that knee. Take your strap overhead. Gentle pull on the strap, but not too intense with your grip. Inhale. Reach up as high as you can with that strap in your arms. As you exhale, coming toward the back. Feel that space in the arm, that left arm rib cage getting a big stretch. Inhale, come up. And exhale toward the front, toward side angles. Now we're maybe using a little bit more core strength here. Good. Inhale, come up, straighten the leg. Try not to lock the knee, and then reverse triangle to the back. Getting that big stretch on the left side again. Good. Inhale, come up, and now toward the front, toward triangle. Only going as far as you feel you can manage it. So don't go too far if you feel unsteady here or too much strain. Keep away from the strain. Inhale, rise up, and then bend your knee again. Warrior two. Good. Straighten that leg, parallel your feet, release your arms in front of you, and roll your shoulders out. Okay, we're going to take the strap behind us now. Keep your feet nice and wide. You can go nice and wide with your grip, or you can go more narrow, depends on what feels good in your arms and shoulders. Pull on the strap, bend your knees a little bit. Keep your chest lifted, shoulders back. Take an inhale and see if you can lift that strap back behind you any amount and pull on the strap. That's it. So feel that nice openness in the chest. You can enhance this by squeezing your shoulder blades back. You feel that opening in your collarbones. Good. Now relax your arms. Pause for a moment. Take a breath. Some of you are going to repeat that. Some of you are going to progress it into a forward fold. So we're going to hinge at the hips and take that strap up behind us. Now, if that feels like too much, you're going to just repeat what we just did. Okay. Inhale. As you exhale, pull on the strap, lift the strap back behind you. Bend your knees. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades back. And then option, exhale, hinge forward. You can do halfway, or you can fold all the way, letting the head come down, reaching those arms up, and getting that gentle pull on the strap. You really got to activate your legs here. Root through your feet, engage the front of your legs, which will help your hamstrings release. So quads are the opposing muscle group. Good. Pull on the strap, bend your knees, and very slowly start to come up. Lead with the back of your head. Take your time, because we can sometimes get a little dizzy here, and then release and let that strap go. Step it back in, shake it out, roll it out. Nice work. Okay. So we're going to work on balance next, and we're going to try to use the straps for our tree pose to see how when we create more stability and expansiveness up top, it can help us balance. But I just want to give you a little break on those arms for a bit. So step the feet apart a little bit wider than your hips. Inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale, just a simple side bend to one side. Just spiral your pinky forward to get that arm in a good position. We're going to work with this side bend a little bit later. And then other side, inhale the arm up. And side bend. Spiral that pinky down. Good. Inhale, come up. One more time each side. Exhale, reach. Spiral the pinky forward. Try to keep your tailbone drawing down and your belly lifting here to protect your back. And then one more time. Inhale, reach up. Side bend. Spiral your pinky down. Belly in, tailbone down. Good. Inhale, come up and release. Roll your shoulders out. Okay. Let's go again. Grab your strap. So trying tree pose, we're going to stand on your right leg, bring your left heel up, and you're going to start with just your kickstand tree. So your foot is on the floor. Heel is above the ankle, and you're going to press the shin and the heel together, to create a little stability. And that'll help fire up the outer hips. Now, take your arms overhead and pull on the strap. And notice how that gives you a little more integrity in that upper body. So feel the arms. When you pull on that strap, just keeping nice and open through the chest. And if you feel stable, pick your foot up and place it below your knee. So you might notice that you feel a little more stable here. Keep lifting your hip points and drawing up through the belly and drawing the tailbone down. Good. One more breath. On Saturday, we're going to progress some of these things. For those of you who want to try a little bit more challenge. And go ahead, release the foot, release the arms, take a little break. Okay, so we'll try the other side. So standing on your left leg, come in your kickstand tree. Heel above the ankle, press in toward the center, zipper the belly, anchor the tailbone down. And then when you're ready, take your strap overhead. And then pull on that strap and feel the work in your arms. Lift the strap higher, lift through your rib cage. Maybe even have a sense of rolling your triceps a little forward. That's a subtle little cue, but it can help kind of give you a little more positioning of the shoulders. And maybe you're going to pick that foot up off the ground if you feel stable. If you don't feel stable, try lifting and pulling on that strap and rooting into your standing foot to get that stability. One more breath. Squeeze your hip muscles. And then when you're ready, release the foot and release the arms. Good. And then you can set that strap down. And we're going to make our way down to a seated position. So grab your whatever prop you sit on, and we'll come down to that. All right. So let's just take a bound angle first, soles of the feet together. We're going to have the strap around the bottom of the feet. So put it under the pinky side of your feet, and then you have two tails on either side of your legs. Hold down as close to your feet as you can and lift through your chest. You're doing a little pull on the strap and then maybe turn your arms open a little bit. When you turn the arms open, it gets the collarbones open, helps keep the chest open and the chest lifted. Because our tendency is to be more here, shoulders forward, we're rounding. But if we turn the arms open, it helps us keep the chest buoyant and lifted. Okay, so let's hold here. Lift through the crown of your head, create space in your spine. One more breath. Good, and now from here, you can release the strap. Keep that in front of you. And you might take a forward fold. So if it feels good to forward fold from your hips, you can do so. If it's not something that feels good, just stay upright. Take a few breaths upright. Good. All right. All right, next inhale, slowly come up. We're going to keep the right leg where it is and take the left leg out. So we want this to be kind of a wide position here. So widen the legs apart. The right foot is close into the inner groin. Now, we might need some modifications here. So if this knee is hanging up in the air, you're going to give it a block or a rolled up pillow, blanket, whatever you've got. If you know your hamstrings are not happy in these kinds of poses, stick that rolled blanket that we had in the beginning of class right under the back of your knee. If you're good, then you don't need those props, but we are going to use the strap in a moment. I'm going to flex the left foot, point the toes up toward the ceiling. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, bring your hands in front of you. Walk it out any amount. So rather than kind of let your head and chest drop, keep your chest and head a little lifted. Good. Keep the left toes pointing up. So we start to get a little bit more into this inner groin, inner leg. Breathing here. One more. Okay, slowly start to walk it up. Grab your strap and take the strap around the left foot. Now I have a nice long strap, so I'm going to see if I can kind of lift my arm up like this. Now, if your strap's not long enough, you might not be able to do that. Okay, if that's the case, then you're just going to hold on with one hand and not do this part. Okay, those of you who have a long strap, you can take your right arm up overhead, and then your left hand is going to hold on to the strap. Good. Wait till everybody's got that. If you need a break from it, take a break. Okay, I think we all got it now. Okay, so slide your left hand as close to your foot as you can. Pull on the strap a little bit and then turn to look to your right. Take another breath or two here. And feel that nice opening through the right side of the body, right shoulder, chest. And then we're going to release very slowly and carefully. Take your strap now, and we're going to take it overhead. So if you had the long strap, you might fold it in half. And we're going to turn our torso toward that left leg. Now remember, this is challenging on hamstrings, so if that's the case for you, bend the knee away from the ground, and it makes it easier to fold or have that roll blanket under your knee. Those of you who can keep that leg straight. Turn towards your left, inhale, lift your chest, pull on the strap. And as you exhale, hinge forward as if you're going to take your strap past your foot. Go as far as you can, and then inhale, come up, pulling on the strap as you come up. So we're also building back strength as we do this. Exhale, come forward, pull on the strap. We're keeping that chest open. And then inhale, come up. This next time, we're going to release it. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hinge. And now take your strap around your foot. Those of you can hold your foot, you can now let go of your strap. Okay, so let go of the strap if you can easily grab your foot without strain. Inhale, let your chest lift one more time. And now exhale, fold over that leg. Now this pose is called Janu Shirshasana. Janu means knee in Sanskrit. So it's head to knee pose, but ideally we don't want to put our head on our knee. We'd rather move our head toward our toes because then we're creating more length in our spine. Eventually that head might come toward the knee, but we're still lengthening as we go. Let's hold here one more breath. Now to come out, first lift up part way. Draw your belly in, bring your right hand to your hip. And then carefully press up. And we're going to take a twist to the right leg, so a little counter. Lift your chest, turn into it. One more breath. Feel nice and open in your collarbones. And then release, unwind back through center. Good, let's try that whole thing on the other side. So go ahead, switch your legs. Right leg's out nice and wide, left foot is in toward the groin. Support the knees if you need to, okay? So make sure you're taking care of your body. We always want to take care of our bodies. And then first thing, we're going to fold through center before we grab that strap. So go ahead and walk your hands out in front of you for a few breaths. Just to get a little bit more space in that tissue of the inner leg. All these areas get tight if we are feeling cold. That's why in the summertime, tend to feel less pain in our bodies because our tissues are warmer, they're not so contracted. And often why it's recommended to practice yoga in a warm room. And we have things like hot yoga, because when we're in a room that's really warm, we can get so much deeper into some of these poses without hurting or tearing things. But we still need to always listen to our bodies. Okay, slowly come up, grab your strap, open it up, take it around the right foot. Now remember, you can just do this if your strap's not long enough. Those of you who can are going to take that strap overhead and slightly behind your head. A little bit of pressing your foot into the strap too and pulling. Get that tension on the strap so it's not slack. And then inhale, and as you exhale, take a slight turn over toward your left side. Press your foot into the strap. One more breath. And then we'll slowly release. Take your strap off and then we'll fold it in half if it's longer. Hold it overhead. Good. Turn towards your right. Pull on the strap. Inhale, lift up as tall as you can. And then exhale, partway forward. And try to pull on the strap so we keep a little bit of that integrity through the upper body. And then we inhale, come up. So trying not to bend into your spine. Your spine stays in a straight line. Come forward part way, and then inhale, come up. One more time, exhale, come down. This time we're gonna release either the strap around your foot or you're gonna hold your foot, those of you who can. Okay, no right or wrong, it's what feels less strain. So if I can reach my foot, but I'm all rounded and uncomfortable in my back, that's creating dukkha, right? We want sukha. So we might need the strap, so we have sukha. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, fold. Remember, head more towards your foot, even though the pose is Janu Shirshasana. Shirsha means head, so things like headstand is called Shirshasana. And asana, of course, means pose. Let's hold here one more breath. Find as much of the sukha as you can. And then when we come out, we're going to slowly come up part way. Tone your belly, hand to your hip, and rise up. Take a twist over towards your left side. So inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale into the turn. Good, and then inhale back through center, and then release. Take both legs out in front of you, shake them out. Okay, one more thing here. So if you have a nice long strap, you're going to make a loop in it. And we want the loop to be pretty big. It's going to go around your back and around your feet. And we're going to come back to bound angle. If you have a shorter strap, you're just going to do this without the strap. Okay, so it's going to go around your lumbar. Take the strap loop behind you when you get the loop done. And then you're going to bring your feet together and put it under the pinky edge of your feet. And then tighten it up so that you feel like it supports your lower back and it's nice and snug here. So I'll give you guys some time to get that situated. So it's around my lower back. Also, another thing is to try and make sure it's not too twisted. If it's all twisted up, it's gonna not feel good. So flatten it out around the lumbar, lower back. So it's kind of hooked right above your sacrum. goes through the inner thighs and down around your feet. Okay. And then once you're there, tighten it up till it feels nice and snug. So I've got the tail end coming toward my body so I can pull it and tighten it. Again, if that's too much with your strap, just come into the shape without it. All right, so I was waiting for a couple of you guys to get that on. Now, we're going to bring hands behind us for this one. Hands behind us start to lift into your chest. Your finger pads are on the tips, like little tents, unless you can get them flat easier. And then pull your hands apart, open through your collarbones, open through your chest, and just feel how that strap helps support your lower back. You can stay here, or some of you might be able to come back a little bit more. So you're going to start to bend the elbows back behind you. So bend the elbows, and you might eventually come so far that you come on to your forearms. So I'm on my tile floor, so I'm going to move forward a little bit here. So I'm taking that pillow out, and I'm going to drop down onto my forearms. And this helps open up into the hips a little bit more. It might not be accessible. So if it isn't, you're going to stay up here with your arms straight. Okay. Once you're there, if you get down to the ground, press in your forearms, lift into your chest, open through the collarbones. So it's almost like a little fish pose. One more breath, press the arms down. And then we're going to slowly bring chin to chest and carefully start to come back up on those arms. Good. And then we can release that strap and take it off. Okay, so we're running out of time. We're going to come onto our backs now. So grab all the things that you need for your Shavasana. Have maybe a pillow for your head, maybe your blanket roll under your knees. And before Shavasana, let's come down, take a nice full body stretch. Come into that expansiveness again. And then you can hug your knees into your chest and rock a little bit side to side. Good. And then set your feet down on the ground. And take the feet a little wider apart and just windshield wiper a few times side to side. So releasing any tension in your back. You're on your back. That's it. Yep. All right. And the next time you drop over to one side, just pause there for a few breaths. And if you like to place that foot on top of the thigh for a little extra stretch, you can. So it would be the bottom foot on the top leg. Yep, there you go. All right. So dropping in through the shoulders, relaxing through your face, and finding your breath again. Noticing the subtle expansion through your inhale and the softening of your exhale. Now let's change sides. Release the top foot if you have it. Take the legs over to the other side and adding the foot if you like. Staying here now for a few breaths. Just kind of noting all of the space you created in your body today, particularly into the area of the chest and the arms and the shoulders through all of that strap work. So the area that we tend to close off and huddle and get tight when we're cold, in that contracted state, we created sweetness, ease, openness. And as we create that openness, space in the body, create that ease, We don't have to think so much about discomfort, right? So we know when we hurt ourselves, that's all we can think about is, ouch, that hurts. So when we create space and ease, we don't have to think about the discomfort, and we can start to contemplate those other things that we get to in our yoga practice. Go ahead and release that foot, come back through center. And once again, hug your knees into your chest. And if you like a happy baby, you can take it into a happy baby from here. So in order to get to those more meditative states of our practice, we have to create that space and ease in the body. If we're sitting in meditation and we're in pain and discomfort, we're not going to be able to get to that place of clarity of mind. Because we'll be focused on our dukkha, on our suffering. Okay, go ahead and release and find your way to your Shavasana. So grab any layers that you need, eye coverings, blankets to make yourself warm. Giving you a couple moments to get settled. And then once you arrive in Shavasana, really let yourself land there so that we can find stillness now. So once we create that space in the body, we also create a reciprocal space in our minds. So maybe where our minds felt contracted and narrow and kind of maybe hyper-focused, there's a little more ease in the mind, a little more openness, receptivity. Maybe we don't feel quite so stuck, in a limited point of view. We can allow for more possibilities. So let the mind feel open and spacious. Let the body feel open and spacious. And as you feel the body drop into the ground, starting to imagine that the body kind of starts to sink and relax into the space, almost as if the borders of your body start to get a little bigger, a little more expansive. So there's less definition to the body. It's not such a finite thing. So imagine the body starting to spread into the space around you. Sometimes called the aura. The space around us is the aura. Let your body dissolve and widen and spread into that space of your aura. With every inhale, feeling that expansive quality, like the body is taking up a little more space. And as you exhale, let it settle. Get all the tissues in the body soften their inner grip, soften the contracting. See if you can notice where you might still feel a sense of the body contracting. And as you bring your awareness to that area, as you exhale, let that area soften and release. Give you another minute or two to just stay here in this place of expansive awareness. All right, yogis, it's time to return. So taking some deeper breaths when you are ready. Maybe a little movement through fingers, toes. And as you slowly reawaken, you can take some bigger movements, maybe a stretch or hug your knees. Take your time to come to your side for a few breaths. And after you've had a few moments on your side, you can go ahead and slowly return to a seated posture. Again, maybe sitting up on a prop if that helps you be more comfortable. And we're just going to sit here for a moment. Maybe widen out those sit bones. We feel very grounded. And then centering your spine right over those sit bones, lift through the crown of your head. Let the chin slightly drop, and then either eyes are closed or softly focused. Let your shoulders drop. As you inhale, feel that expansive quality, lengthening through your spine. And as you exhale, soften the outer body over the length of your spine. So don't drop the spine, soften the tissues around the spine. We're keeping the back of the skull lifting so we feel the length of the spine and allowing the arms to drape, the face to soften. All right, so staying there for just another couple of moments, focusing on your breathing. Getting this sense of contemplation of the infinite. There's no beginning, no end. Imagine that as you inhale, your body could expand in all directions like a beam of light. So the inspiration for this practice today was in my calendar. There was a reading, so I'm going to share it with you. The world has been working hard on us, hasn't it? The contractions are getting stronger. The easiness of breath that we once had now requires work and attention. We could get lost in this darkness, this political climate, this environment that no longer suits us, this busy world that squeezes our spirits so tightly that we want to give them up altogether. We could stay here, but we won't. It's time to expand. We can remember that in this darkness, we can find our strength. This is our birthright. This is where we heal. This is the place of infinite expansion. Let's bring the hands together now in front of your heart space. As you inhale, let the heart rise and lift. And as you exhale, bow your head to your heart. All right, thank you so much, everyone. Namaste. All right, I hope you guys have a good weekend. Feel free to unmute.
Deanna, I want to apologize. I was about 5 minutes late.
Oh,
but I
no
made it.
worries. I'm glad you made it.
Yep,
Did you
I
have
was
any
just-
trouble with the link this morning, Mark?
No, none. And I was
Okay.
booking our second appointment for our shots. So
Oh, good, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like a lot of you guys are able to get them now. That's fantastic.
it is.
Yeah,
One
good.
of the benefits of age.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
but it just gets us closer and closer to getting back to normal. So
Definitely. Anything to get
Yeah.
there.
Yes, exactly. All right, guys, any questions? How did we do with all that? Did you guys do okay with all the strap stuff?
That felt
Yeah.
good.
It was good.
Good. Yeah, doesn't that feel good on your shoulders and chest?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, have a good day. I'll see you guys next time.
Okay.
Take care.
Have a good
Bye.
weekend.
Too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.